Welcome, dear students. Now, dear students, we are going to start with in this chapter of phase diagram or constitutional diagrams. That is the common types of phase diagram. Common types of phase diagram. So, dear students, the very first, very important, dear students, we start with this isomorphous phase diagram. Isomorphous phase, and we are going to discuss the same about this isomorphous phase diagram in this video. So, dear students, if you talk about this isomorphous system, okay, so it is the binary phase diagram. Basically, it is what? If I start, it is the binary phase diagram. Okay, it is the binary phase diagram. So two components are there. Okay, and yes, students, when you talk about this isomorphous, so what is mean by isomorphous? So dear, isomorphous means the components with the same morphology. The components with the same morphology. This is called as the isomorphous. Okay, and here if you want to define in this phase diagram, so this isomorphous actually means that the two components here, the two components having complete two components such that they are having what, or they are miscible in both the solids and liquids, in both the solids and liquids, in of course all the proportions. So this is called as the isomorphous. Okay, dear students, so if we talk about this isomorphous system, dear students, so very simple diagram that we have for this isomorphous phase diagram. So this, okay, so this is the length diagram actually, or you can also call it as this is the isomorphous phase diagram of component A and B are there. So here percentage increase in B, X is the concentration. Okay, uh, here this is the temperature, right? Here the melting point of A and here the melting point of B, isn't it? And if we see, dear students, here, so above this line is what? The liquidus line we are having, and dear students, this is the solidus. This is the solidus line. So here above the liquidus line, so all are liquid here. Then in this mushy zone, dear students, this is the mushy zone where we will be having this liquid plus solid. So dear students, the very important rule in the phase diagram that we have to use only the Greek word for representing the phase. Okay, solid phase always represented by the of course the Greek word, so that's why I have used here the alpha, that is our solid, liquid plus solid, and here the solid phase alpha once again. So below the solidus line there will be the solid, and above the liquidus there will be the liquid. Okay, now dear students, of course this is the phase diagram, isomorphous phase diagram, you can also call it as the length diagram. So dear students, now if you go on interpreting this diagram, okay, and definitely we are going to assume that the all the reactions definitely happening at the atmospheric pressure. So the one variable we are going to assume to be constant, that is pressure is constant. So if you again have the condensed phase rule that P plus F is equal to C plus, instead of 2, pressure and temperature. Now one is fixed, so I will write here C plus 1, isn't it? So this is the condensed phase rule. Now dear students, if I take, say for example if I take or I consider in complete solid region, if I consider the complete solid, okay, so if I say this is the complete solid region, isn't it? So dear students, in this region how many components that we have? Components are two, A and B are the components, okay, and I am talking about phase. How many phases are there? So only one phase is there, so phase is 1. And which phase? That is nothing but the solid. Now dear students, if I apply this condensed Gibbs phase rule, that is F plus P is equal to C plus 1. So this F would be, this P is how much? 1 is equal to components 2 plus 1. Okay, so you will be getting this phase degree of freedom will be equal to 2, isn't it? So dear students, this degree of freedom is equal to 2 means that actually that both the temperature and composition of the phase can be independently varied within the limit. Okay, so see here, within this limit both this temperature and compositions are varied within the limit, okay, like this, right? So you say temperature T1 here, so still you are in the solid, say this is temperature T2, so again you are in the solid, okay, so like that this degree of freedom 2. Now if I again have this for phase rule, if I apply for this two phase field region, that is two phases are what? Liquid plus alpha in this region. So in this region dear students, the components of course 2 and phases are is equal to 2, okay. So if I say the F plus P is equal to C plus 1, that means that F plus 2 is equal to 2 plus 1. So ultimately F will be equal to 1, isn't it? So dear student, here F is equal to 1, that is the degree of freedom is equal to 1, isn't it? Now here we are actually having how many variables? So we are having here three variables. One is temperature, then composition of liquid phase, and third one the composition of the solid phase, isn't it? So dear students, this degree of freedom is equal to 1 means here only one of these three is independent, okay, that is if I only choose the arbitrary temperature, if I only choose, say if I choose any arbitrary temperature, okay, so if I choose this any arbitrary temperature, the composition of these two phases, that is for this the composition is here, okay, say this is x1, and at the solidus line the composition x2 will get automatically fixed when I fix the only temperature, okay. So that is mean of degree of freedom 1 here dear students, okay. So if you choose any arbitrary temperature in the two phase field, you will be fixing the composition for liquidus and for solidus, okay. So that is meaning of here the degree of freedom 1. Now dear students, in same case, suppose if I choose the composition, if I choose any arbitrary composition, then this temperature of these two phases, say if I choose the composition, say at this, say x is the composition that I have chosen, so definitely see here the temperature for these compositions, okay, say T dash and or T, it is temperature at the solidus, and definitely here the temperature at the liquid is getting fixed, isn't it? So that is the meaning of this, dear students. This F is equal to 1 in this phase diagram, right? So dear students, as we know that in the phase diagram, the lines which drawn parallel, so whatever the lines I have drawn parallel to the x-axis, these lines are known as the tie lines. Okay, the lines drawn parallel to the x-axis are known as the tie lines. The tie lines. Okay, or these are the isothermal lines because temperature is going to be fixed. So dear students, and of course we are able to apply the Gibbs phase rule. Say if I once again draw the diagram. Okay, so this is the composition of capital X. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, this is the liquid, this is liquid plus alpha, and this is alpha, this is component A and component B, this is composition X in B. Okay, so dear students, so here what we can do here. Okay, so now so in this figure, suppose I want to apply the lever rule, so apply the lever rule here. Okay, say xb is equal to alloy composition of xb is equal to alloy composition, so already written here alloy composition. So dear students, if I want to have or want to find out the volume or percentage of alpha, okay, and the volume percentage of this liquid. Okay, alpha is a solid phase and L is the liquid. So tell me, if I put the names here at say temperature T, I am going to find out this percentage volume of this alpha in liquid. So see here, so at this temperature in this two phase field, you will be fixing the compositions at liquidus and solidus x1 and x2, isn't it? And here we are having the fulcrum at this. Okay, say this is AB, then this will be the C and this is the D. Okay, and I will have the fulcrum at this point, say at E. Okay, so dear students, if I want to find out the percentage volume of say alpha, then tell me it will be what for alpha. Okay, so it will be this ED divided by, so X in this much composition, X in ED divided by the total length of the arm CD multiply by 100, isn't it? And if I want to volume of liquid, so liquid is here in this region, so definitely opposite arm is X in CE divided by total arm length CD into 100. Okay, like that we can able to find out the phase fraction here, that is phase fraction of alpha and liquid. So dear students, if you look at the examples, what are the examples of the isomorphous system? So dear students, we are having this copper and nickel, then we are having this gold and silver, we are having this gold and copper, then bismuth and tin, right? We are having tungsten and vanadium, etc. are the examples of this isomorphous phase diagram, right? So dear students, this is about the isomorphous phase diagrams. The isomorphous phase diagram nothing but they are having the same, the components having the same morphology, and they are completely miscible in both the solids and liquid in all the proportions. So this type of phase diagram or this system is known as the isomorphous phase diagram, dear students. Definitely the in coming lectures we are going to see about the next type of the phase diagram that we'll be having about, because see this isomorphous phase diagram we can say that all the Hume row 3 conditions are definitely satisfied, but dear students, in real practice it is not always possible to that these Hume row 3 conditions are always satisfied. So the deviation of the phase diagram from this Hume row 3 rules, dear students, now that system is not no more isomorphous, it will be the eutectic system, and the same videos now I will be starting for the next system, that is the eutectic system. Okay, that will be discussed in the next video, dear students. Till then, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye.